Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Chat with Gary. This is part two of the Liverpool v United review. Here we're going to talk about the combined 11. There's a heated debate on that, so watch out for it. We talk about score predictions, and we also talk about the transfer window. We also welcome back our guests, Vishnu and Pram. So please, I hope you enjoy this video. We had to put together a combined 11 for Liverpool United to play tomorrow. I just want to see how you'd shape up. So let's call it a 4-3-3 because I think that's the formation eventually both of us will kind of settle into.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a 4-3-3, I just kind of wanted to see what your thoughts would be, who'd start, and what's the best 11, combined 11. So let's start goalkeepers, right?
Yeah, maybe Vishnu, you take the lead. Yeah,
Alisson. Yeah, I mean De Gea maybe 5 years ago, but
come on,
Alisson, without a doubt, Alisson is probably with Neuer the best goalkeeper in the world. I mean, you never see him do the spectacular because he just covers everything. Like he is, for me, he's had a bigger influence on our team. Or maybe just as much as Van Dijk has. I mean, he is phenomenal, and I don't see De Gea of 3 years, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe, but on today's form, no.
You reckon on today's form, you still think Alisson's good? I saw him let that goal in. I think it was one of the goals, but I can't remember which game now. His mistake that led to the goal. Was it not the Villa game? I think it was. It's before the Southampton game. Yeah.
But it's okay.
Anyway, okay, I'll give it to you. All right, Alisson.
No, listen, debate it, right? I mean, this is my view. I don't.
Dude, the only reason I play Alisson over De Gea, I think De Gea is just as good as Alisson when it comes to stopping shots, right? But I think the quality that Alisson has over De Gea, and probably leaning towards Alisson himself, is the fact that he's a better leader at the back. I think he's more vocal. And I think that influences a lot of how we set up defend.
Well, better distribution.
Better distribution, yeah.
Yeah, better with, again, it comes back to what we want, what style you want to play. But I'd say better with the feet, better distribution.
Probably.
Starts a lot of attacks for us. Need I remind you the Salah goal of last time we were at Anfield. So I don't know. For me, it's a slam dunk. It seems like I'm in a minority here, but it is.
Well, for us,
is that what you think?
I think it's not a slam dunk, but I think it's a thing that we can.
So Chai went with Alisson. Vishnu went with Alisson. I'm going with.
I had to think really hard about it. It's not a slam dunk.
If we were comparing 3 seasons ago, like what Vishnu was saying, De Gea is a great shot stopper. He's a great keeper. There's no questions about that. But right now, if you're talking about in the current game, in this last season and this season, personally for me, Alisson, it's not just being a shot stopper. It's the way that Vishnu just said as well, the way that he distributes the ball. He's good with his feet, things like that. So there's other elements that make you a great keeper as well. Mistakes happen. De Gea has made mistakes. Neuer has made mistakes, yes, and sometimes you wonder, you can't afford to make such blunders, but it happens. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the game, and it comes down to, and we just finger point and blame individuals at the end. But right now I would say Alisson. Yeah,
Alisson. Okay.
Now 3 against 1, Alisson it is.
But okay, well, I don't expect that would be the debate, but anyway, talking about the back four, and we're going to pick from the back four who are fit, right? So who left back? I think left back is. I think we are debating between Robertson and Luke Shaw / Telles, right? That's what we're debating. So
I don't think Telles is even the conversation. He's hardly started for us.
Yeah. I don't think we should be. I know who I'm going with, but Vishnu, it's no debate.
There's no debate. Sorry.
I don't.
So we all agree it's Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw was 10 pounds overweight.
Hey, but you know what? He's a really good. He's
playing really well these days.
Pretty good.
I know.
He's getting forward now.
I know.
I'd probably say, yeah.
For me, he came good when under Mourinho for a bit, and then he seems like he's been start-stop. Unfortunately for him with all the injuries, but he's kind of kicking on, right? So,
Yeah.
but
He's doing fine.
Andy Robertson for me,
Hands down.
he'd get into the world team, like the best team in the world right now.
Definitely. I mean, the way he's playing right now, it's similar to how he played last season. It's just he's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Right
Let's
back.
get to Sen. Yeah.
Right back. We'll do the right back first.
Gary Neville.
Still our
Right,
best right back. Dude.
Look, for me, I don't know. Vishnu, what do you think?
Who do you guys have? Remind me.
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, I mean, if we again, listen, guys, if we're not talking a system and a team, and we're just doing a player-for-player comparison for each position without playing the system, I think on current form, I'd probably say maybe him or slightly over Trent. But for me, I would have had a very contentious answer to this whole piece in one word to say, except Bruno Fernandes, no one gets into the Liverpool team, and that's my 11.
Oh,
But again,
Come on.
that's me.
But do you think Pogba will make the team?
Maybe.
We don't need him.
I'm not saying you don't need him, but if you
I'm
want
not. I'll tell you
No,
what.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not having Salah on my team. I'm not having Salah and Mane in my team. I tell you that.
Oh, come on. You guys are joking.
Dude, the goal is there. He can't even put the ball in.
Okay, fine. Let's go through it. Let's go through it.
Okay.
I've clearly stirred the honest net here. Let's do it. Let's do
It's
it.
all good discussion. That's all.
Okay, so Wan-Bissaka, Trent. Who's Pram? You said Trent, right?
No. I think Vishnu.
Vishnu?
Only because I'm feeling generous. Wan-Bissaka, fine. Let's do it. On current form.
No, for me, if you're talking about last season, no questions asked. It will be Trent. But I do like Wan-Bissaka. I like the way that he has that physical aspect.
Yeah. So hold on. Are we talking about current form? Are we talking about based on
current form.
Current form.
Yeah. So Pram, not last season. He's talking about current form, which is the only reason I would have gone for Wan-Bissaka over.
Correct.
Over
exactly. So same here, and that's what I was alluding to it too. It would be Wan-Bissaka.
Something that Man United fans would never have thought that you'd have put Wan-Bissaka. At least I'm not
surprising.
Surprising.
You're talking about right now, obviously.
Yeah, right now, I would. Wan-Bissaka is probably having. He's had set of 4 games, boys.
Okay, so this is the thing. I'm not watching enough United games to make a judgment, right? Which is why I made the point. For me, if you're being really honest about it, looking at it, I would not have anyone in my Liverpool team other than Bruno.
But then, is that
Bruno?
emotion talking, or is that just
genuinely? I wouldn't.
What do you think? You think the rest of the team is not good enough?
You won't have Pogba in your team. Realistically, would you have Pogba?
Okay, what position do you want? Would you want Pogba to play?
I want number 6, right?
Number 6. We've got Hendo and Fabinho.
Yeah,
you're comparing Henderson to Pogba.
Henderson's player of the year last year, guys. I mean, Pogba has done something in 2 games this season. So if you're going to compare him on the last 2 games that he suddenly decided to show up, fine, fair play. If otherwise, for an entire season, there is no way I'm putting Pogba in my team. He shows
Pogba
up.
has won the World Cup. Right?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, his form for United has been awful, right? Let's not start the Pogba conversation.
He's got the winning goal.
No, but that's my point. That's exactly my point. If you're taking it for the last 1 or 2 games, fine. We have a conversation, no problem. But if you're saying it's on the recent record, beyond even if you take 3, 4, 5, I mean, guys, literally less than a month ago, you were talking about his agent coming out and saying he wants to move. He was unhappy. He was barely playing.
No, I've always been Team Pogba, right? I don't know, like
what?
I've always no. What I said was that we've clearly let him down, okay? And maybe it's time for him to move on. And I still think he will move on. But right now, I just want him to give all he can to get us to that place.
Fair play.
I've never felt anything malicious against Pogba.
Dude, I don't have anything malicious. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he was bigger than the club. I think he still acts like he's bigger than the club. Maybe that's when we cut our ties. That's all I'm saying. Right? Pogba. Okay. Are we agreeing Pogba will be in this team? Right. Let's get the short things away. Right. Then we can talk about the two centre backs because I think that's the biggest pressing issue that we kind of want to see. Okay. The three midfielders. Right. Would you have Bruno at number 10? Right. The top. However you want.
If we are doing that, my three would
Mhm.
be Fabinho or Hendo, Thiago, and Bruno, and not anyone else.
Pram?
Interesting. I don't see. It'll be good to have Fernandes in the team, but I don't think we need him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey.
Our issue right
one league and a Champions League, and they're
if
behind
you're asking me about Pogba
yeah.
when he used to play in Juventus, I would take him in a heartbeat, right? That Pogba, right? So, or if you gave me an option where would I put these players on my bench? Because yes, we definitely need people like Pogba and Fernandes on the bench for squad rotation.
Fuck off. Look at
If we
World
had
Cup winner sitting on a bench.
we'll send Van de
I
Beek.
know, it's current form. It's current. Like I said, if it's Juventus,
Dude,
Pogba,
I'm going to tell you this,
100%.
right? If you put Pogba on the bench, guess who's coming for you? His agent's going to come for you straight away.
But anyway.
Yeah,
But that's that's the whole. Yeah, but he's been sitting on your bench
Yeah,
for a while, hasn't he?
I think it's
So what's the
lately,
difference?
you know, the
No, it's
agents
not
put a
wrong.
rocket
Like
up.
I said,
Solskjaer, so
if we're talking
he
about
started
Pogba
now.
Juventus days, like 100% he'll be starting in my team, right? If let's say if we had a chance to buy him, then we would actually play him with where his strengths lies. I'm sure of that. But I don't think we need someone like Pogba and Fernandes in the Liverpool team in the starting lineup. But it'll be great to have them as on the bench because
Don't say bench.
I
Okay,
honestly think that we need squad depth.
Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. But Gary, who are your three midfielders? Dude? It's quite embarrassing, right? I mean, I wish I could take this segment
Look,
off.
I'm not going to lie. I like Fabinho. Fabinho's going to be there.
Yeah.
I think he's better than any holding midfielder we have.
Yeah.
I'll actually have. Man, Fernandes has got to start as well. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I'd actually have Van de Beek over Pogba.
Okay.
And I tell you why. Because I want Pogba to start on the left
Wait,
wing.
hold on. So this is getting really interesting. You picking Van de Beek, who's barely
No.
played, over
Yeah, but
Pogba, over
yeah.
Gini,
No,
over
no.
Thiago, over who else?
Dude, Thiago he plays when he's fit. He's not fit. I mean, he's never going to be fit. I don't think he's probably fit.
No, he's,
Make up your mind, guys. You're talking about current form. He's available currently. He's available.
He's available
today.
until the second minute when he gets tackled by Fernandes, and then he's out for the season.
We'll have
right?
that discussion the next time we speak.
All right. No, I don't look. I just think that Van de Beek just offers something different that I don't know if anyone from the Liverpool team can. And I've always liked him. I think he's been undervalued in the team. And I'd actually start when we get into the front three. I'll actually put Pogba on my left wing.
No, wait. We're not getting there yet. But I think the three. I think I'm gonna side with Vishnu on this. I think Fabinho, Hendo, and Bruno will be a good midfield. I think.
Really?
I think those are my three midfield. I don't think we have holding players that are.
No, we've got crap holding players now.
The only one I would have thought twice. The only other player that I would have thought twice is Pogba and Hendo. I think the difference there. It's based on true passion and based on what's going on. I guess Hendo will probably squeeze in my team just because he puts in the work rate that is required. Top three in my head. There's very little doubt, but I'm just. What do you guys think? Just for the sake of arguments, let's see. I guess Pram, who do you think the top three would be? If you're gonna say three Liverpool, let's move on quickly.
all right.
Yeah.
Look, I do like Rashford, just because of his attitude. All right, and he's a good player. I'll give him that. In that sense, he's not a prima donna or whatever. He's dedicated to his cause and the way he plays, etc. But I'll throw him in there. I'll have Mane, Firmino, Salah, and Rashford. If I could have someone in the bench, I would have Firmino.
Okay.
Vishnu?
Same. I think the only reason I mean, Firmino does something, again, if you're not talking system, and it's just player for player, I'd pick Rashford over Firmino. I think Firmino does something for our system that clearly makes it click, which fine. We're not talking about the system, we're just talking players, right? By the way, Gary, your point about Salah, he's still up there for the Golden Boot.
I know he is.
Right?
I know he
Right.
is.
So, I mean, for every 10 chances he doesn't score, he shows up with the Crystal Palace 2 goals, 3 goals, the other ones. So he's still quite productive, right? I think he's wasteful. He's been wasteful recently. I still have him. I think the pace of Mane and Salah, you just would be fantastic to have on any team. And Rashford, I think that would be a really dynamic front three. And if anything, I'd put Cavani on the bench because I think he's got that kind of X factor that we don't actually. If anything, as a Liverpool bench, we don't have. I mean, we've got Origi and others, but it's not the same. Having Cavani come off the bench, I think, is really something else.
Gary, I know you're going to throw a bloody spin delivery.
He's going to play Pogba in the front three, isn't he?
I'm just mind blown by how highly you guys rate Rashford. I'm just really mind blown. For me, I think Rashford's got his moments, and a lot of the time it's off the bench. I think personally, because he's very, very direct. He doesn't look when he's dribbling. He's always got his eyes fixed on the ball, and I think he's kind of a player that you kind of bring in, when you're chasing a goal in the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes or what. But to start him in the starting 11, I just don't know if he's going to bring anything. That's how I feel anyway. So, look, left wing, it's going to be Pogba for me. And just that's purely the way United play. We don't really have out and out wingers. Unlike other teams in the Premier League, we've got a lot of inverted wingers, and the way we play our football, a lot of the times the supposed wingers kind of get drawn in anyway. When I look at it, I think Pogba can kind of do that. Up front is a bit more of a challenge, I think, for me. I'm actually going to say Firmino over Martial. I think both of them kind of, they're really good at linking up play. They're really good at having their backs on goals and kind of holding up play for the rest of the team to kind of push forward. But I think Firmino's kind of done that job a bit longer, and I think he's got a bit more experience. I think Martial, despite him not really scoring goals, I think he's kind of doing what Firmino does for United. But I think, I'll still take Firmino there. And then right wing is a bit of a... it's hard, man. It's hard. I'm just trying to think of who else I've not got. So I don't want to put Rashford there. I just think maybe...
Dan James. Let's call it Dan James and let's move on.
No. I'm going to put Mata there.
What the fuck team are you playing, dude?
Hold on. Is this a combined 11?
Yes.
Okay,
well.
I call complete BS on that. I mean, come on. You picked Pogba over Mane. You've picked Firmino on current form.
I'm not going to be biased, okay? Let's put Salah there.
Okay. You don't have to do it for me. It's a no-brainer.
See, Firmino has this moment of brilliance, right?
Sorry, what was that? What was that from?
Firmino is... I do have a soft spot for Firmino because if you watch a lot of the Liverpool games, he may not... He's like a false number 9, right? He's not banging in the goals, but...
he creates one of them, I think.
He does link up play. So, look, just for the sake of this argument about choosing not all 3 Liverpool up front, I've thrown in Rashford there because, to me, I think under Klopp maybe Rashford would excel. Maybe Klopp can teach him not to look at the ball when you run with it, something like that.
But Klopp likes direct players, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
I mean, to a large extent, I do feel really bad that Sterling left us at the way he did. I mean, kind of going back away now, but I think he would have been phenomenal under Klopp as well. That kind of direct running at defenders, I think would have been really, really good. Anyway, go on, Chai. Give us your unbiased Man United 11.
No, dude. I think to be fair, I'd keep Salah, I'd keep Mane. I think both of them have incredible work rates, right? But one thing I would change, instead of Rashford, I'd play Martial, or instead of Firmino, I'd play Martial. I think the only thing is, I think in the system, I think he can do most of what Rashford does in terms of running directly at defenders and stuff like that. But what I would prefer over Martial is that he has a pass in him, and then his close control is better than Rashford's in some. I mean, it's very controversial when I say this, but I think he has better close control, and he's a little bit more aware than Rashford is, I think. So I would go Mane, Salah, and Martial in the top three. But that's what I think. What I want to know is, are you in the transfer window? If yes, where do you want to strengthen?
Oh, it's an easy one for us, isn't it, Pram? Centre back.
Definitely. Look, I've touched this before. We lack Scott depth. We need our defense due to the injuries. We definitely need a centre back. I know there's talks about Mbappe and all that stuff and rumors. We don't really need a forward, and I agree with John Barnes as well in a recent article, actually an interview that he did. I don't think Liverpool's focus should be on forwards. It has to be to build up the defense. And there's rumors on Ben White. Now, Ben White, who plays for Brighton, is heavily linked. He would be good because not only that he can play as a centre-back, he can move into that defensive mid role as well. He transitions well into that dual position. So he's good
What
to
was
have.
that guy you guys were looking at? The guy from
I think his name was Botman, if I'm not mistaken.
Botman.
And we also there's been talks about the duo centre back from RB Leipzig, correct, and Ibrahima Konate. Look, we've got Keita before. If we get those two, that will be good. But low key, or if you're not going to spend too much, and someone local as well, I guess Ben White would fit in pretty well. We just need someone that can fill in that gaps rather than playing Henderson in centre back, to be honest. And with all the other injuries that we have, we just need that built.
Why don't you guys just give Carragher a ring and say you want to come back?
I think we need to do it to Ferdinand, Vidic.
Ferdinand and Vidic, that's what we really need.
Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes.
I think you guys should bring back Gary Pallister.
And Steve Bruce.
Yeah. Realistically, I don't see us spending money this window. I think Klopp's come out and said it. I think the pandemic has hit finances in big time. Klopp's not the type of person who would go out and spend money. I think he should, from a centre back perspective, just because I think Matip is too injury prone to be included as kind of that in that four. And unfortunately, I think Reece Williams and the guys who play now are too raw. They're just too raw. The gap is too big. Yeah. So I think we need a backup, at least for like Matip and the others. So at least one centre back would be nice. But realistically, I don't expect anything to happen this transfer window. When does it close, by the way? I don't even know when it closes. Jan 31st.
Probably next week, I guess.
Okay.
Next week?
Or 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
a lot of prep.
I think, look, for me, when I look at Klopp and his body language, it tells me that deep down, I think he actually wants to sign someone. And I think he's quite desperate. But I think he's being told from above, from FSG, that, look, situation's dire. You're not getting any money. You got to make the best out of a bad situation. So,
Talking
I think,
about desperate managers wanting players, please, let's talk about Ole, dude. Fucking hell.
man, this guy, look, okay. Let's not talk about Ole. Let's not beat the dead horse. But I'm going to say this, right?
To be honest, right, I feel a bit dirty saying this, but Gary, Gary, I told you when last season when we had the COVID lockdown and when Premier League started, Man United were clicking into gear. and I told you that they may look good, or maybe they may be rough around the edges, but they might do well next season. Now, look, United will never have a better chance to win at Anfield right now. They're in pole position, 3 points ahead. If they win, like I said earlier, Liverpool's going down the pecking order. It's a massive advantage in their favor. To be honest, there'll be no fans as well in Anfield, and you're playing at Anfield, Fortress Anfield. Yes, we have a great home. We got great home record, 100%, and I don't think it'll be easy. But I think both teams will go in gun blazing. But it's, as much as people would say that the title is ours to lose and the onus is on Liverpool. I think this game, you'll never have a better chance to beat us. I mean, if you do beat us, this is it. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think that will happen. But
since you brought this up, Pram, give us your score prediction so we can round this conversation up.
Yeah. Look, I'll be happy with the draw. But I think 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay, Vishnu.
2-1 Liverpool.
Gary.
Heart saying 2-1 to United, but the brain saying 1-0 to 1-0.
I think I'm going to sit at 1-0 or it'll be a 0-0 draw. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I have a feeling. I mean, we might not win the game. I think we'll draw the game. I think we'll find something in.
And I think it's going to be a really cagey match.
Game. It'll be like the City United game that we saw, right?
Yeah.
It was fucking boring. Even the highlights didn't have any material to show, so they showed somebody tying the laces and getting up from injuries and stuff like that. That was the highlight cut. But look, be an interesting game. It's an important game for the two of us. I think we'll see how we progress from then on and see what happens. But yeah,
definitely.
All right, Vishnu, thanks for coming on the show. Pram,
Thanks for having
thank
me,
you
guys.
again for coming on the show. Hope to have you guys back on the show when we play you guys next, which is, I think, April, May. Yeah, I can't remember. I want to check it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, guys, if nothing else, the reason I want us to win on Sundays, there's a big possibility that they suspend football. And if they do and they have to suspend the season, we do not want to be in second place behind you guys. So even on goal difference, if we can get higher and it gets suspended, I mean, things are pretty dire in the UK at the moment, massive number of deaths and what have you. And I don't know if you guys picked up, they're talking about, how do players not celebrate and hug each other? It's just it's a bizarre conversation to be having. It's the world we're in. So if nothing else, if we don't speak in April or May, I hope that we're ahead of you by the time it's suspended, if it does get suspended. So
hopefully
it gets we draw the game and it's suspended.
But hopefully the whole season can be played through. I think irrespective of who wins, I think it'll just be good for football, good for all of us. Let's hope it comes to that.
Are you still with Ole out in your minds? Are you still wanting a change? I mean, he's doing well, right? As you can see, top position.
Look, let's be. Chai, go first.
Look, at this stage, there's no way they're going to fire him. They're going to sack him, right? There's no way. I think he's overachieved everybody's expectations, including United fans. But here's my problem with Ole. I don't see a long-term future with him, and we need some. He needs definitely some more experience. I don't think he's the person to get us to winning leagues and Champions Leagues and stuff like that. But I think what he can do is put the foundations together. I think he can put the culture. I think he can change the culture of the team, bring in some signings that play for the badge, play for the shirt. But that's all he can do. That's the cap. But beyond that, there needs to be some other manager who comes and takes it from the foundations he's built.
Yeah, because this
could
be.
Do you guys think you? Oh, sorry, go on, Pram.
Sorry, Vishnu. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, do you guys think you missed a trick by not signing Pochettino? He's gone now.
Look, call me old-fashioned, but I would have still kept Louis van Gaal, right? That's the era I would have. That's what I would do. I think he was a credible enough manager. He brought out good performances in Martial. Brought blood. I mean, because of him, we see Rashford in the team.
Rashford.
Yeah, there were certain signings. Ander Herrera was there during his time. He was another good signing. He was doing well. There are a lot of different things that Louis Van Gaal did for the club that I don't think we appreciated him for it. He just played boring football, but I think if the boring football would have continued for another season, we wouldn't have been sitting and talking about, oh, we're defensively shit with this and with that. I think we would have definitely improved. And look at Ajax, right? At some point, he was there as well. He was with Barca and stuff like that. So he definitely brought in a lot of culture within those teams. I wouldn't have fired Louis Van Gaal. Talking about Pochettino, well, he's also unproven, right? Maybe he does something with PSG, and as Girish and I were talking before the show, he's signed only an 18-month contract, right? Maybe he's still waiting for the United job eventually when it does become available. So I don't know.
Who would you want to sign
as a manager? Look, it's a tough one, right? It's a good question. I'm not going to pick a manager because I think I'm going to pick the mentality, right? I think we need some manager who's bits and pieces of what all the other managers had. So I think in terms of foundations and building a squad together, I still like Ole in terms of how our attacking players definitely improved under him. Our defensive play kind of was okay under Jose. I think pure talent building perspective, Louis Van Gaal was good. So I think there are aspects of these three managers. If I can find it in one, yes, definitely I'd take that. It's hard pressed to find someone like that, right? It's great. See, Klopp had most of those three. Pep has two, but he buys his way out of developing players, right? I don't think he's developed anyone ground up, but I think he has the funding to buy that person ready made. So for me, I don't know. I'd like bits and pieces of all the three, but today, I don't know, man. Tough to call. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, we missed the boat on Pochettino. Quite disappointed, but I think at the same time, the form that Ole's got United in right now, there's no way you would be able to fire him. He's done really well with the squad. I guess end of the day we are top of the table. We're still winning our away games at least, so we're doing well. And I just think with Ole, like Chai said, there's no longevity with the manager, and I think at some point you've got to realize that Ole, you can bring in the culture of the team. You can kind of bring your squad in, ex-United players and all that, to kind of build the culture up, to bring the winning mentality. But that's only going to get you to a level, okay? I don't think he's got the credibility or the CV to winners like the European Cup or the FA Cup. I don't think he's there. And I think I'd be okay with keeping Ole, providing we sign some top-level coaches. If we can get some top-level coaches from Europe to come in and kind of support him, then I think it'd be okay. Because end of the day, when I look at Ole, his man management's really good. He keeps his players happy. He's able to kind of work with the egos around the team, like players like Pogba have won the World Cup and all that. He's kind of kept Pogba somewhat happy. The likes of Bruno as well. So, and I think, yeah, if he can get a good coaching team behind him, and I think we've got a good chance to go to the next level. But the question is whether he will do it.
Yeah.
That's a big question. But I guess I guess we'll just end the show there. Thanks guys again for joining us on this call. Really, really good discussions. Somewhat biased in the lineup selections, but that's fine. We'll kind of leave it there. You guys are the guests.
I should have gone on one of those. Who did the famous fact rant? One of the managers who's like fact. Who did that? Is it?
Benitez.
Benitez. I should have gone on one of those rants to say, this is why we're choosing him. Fact. Pogba will not get into my team. Fact.
Yeah.
No. All good. All in fun and jest. All right, guys. That's all the time we've got for part 2 of the Liverpool v United preview. Hope you enjoyed the debate. Obviously, we're expecting a lot more United players in the starting 11 based on current form. But hey, we've got to give our guests props. But hope you like the video. If you like the video, hit that like button. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Until the next episode, this is Chai with Gary.